stirring and turning in thick smoke, pounding for hours, and smoothening with care. This is raw African black soap, and this is what it takes to make it. One mistake, and the entire batch could be ruined.
Ago gbọ́dọ̀ pọ̀ jù. Kíni omi tá ń bù sí ní kẹ́míkà omi aró yẹn tó bá ti pọ̀ jù tó bá ti já yóò máa rún wúwúwú kò ní ṣe bó ṣe yẹ kí ó ṣù bó ṣe ṣù bá ṣe rí kóyàn àní rí kó bẹ́ẹ̀ yóò máa scatter ni.
If the mixture gets too hot or burns, the soap can turn out hard and dry. If it's not stirred enough, it can be too crumbly and won't hold its shape. The ingredients for this soap might not seem like much, but once they're combined and transformed through a careful process, they create a natural beauty product that has been cherished in Africa for centuries. The intricate process behind black soap gives it a unique earthy scent and healing properties, but also makes it a tedious task. Just 1 kilogram can take days to make. So, how exactly is this soap made? And why is it so popular? Alima has been making black soap for over 30 years. She learned from her mother, who in turn inherited the traditional knowledge from her grandmother. Their ancestors made black soap long enough to form this towering heap of ashes that has been here for over 150 years.
Ọjọ́ rẹ̀ ti pẹ́. Tí n bá bu ọjọ́ rẹ̀ nísìnyí, tẹ́ bá fẹ́ kọ kalẹ̀, ẹ lè bu ọjọ́ rẹ̀ gan-an. Kódà kìí ṣe 50 years. Torí àwọn àbá tó bí àwọn dáàdì wa gan-an, àwọn àbá tó bí àwọn gan náà gan, àwọn náà pìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ rẹ̀. Tẹ́ mọ̀ pé ó ti ń dìpàlẹ̀ mẹ́ta báwọn. Tá bá bu 50, tá bá bu 100, ó ti jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ọjọ́ tiẹ̀ ti pẹ́. Àbá ni.
The key ingredient in making high-quality black soap is ash. Ash is mixed with water in a clay pot, and the mixture is stirred until it forms a paste. It is then left to rest for about 3 days.
Tá bá ti fomi po, ìmí lè lo 3 days, ìmí lè lo 2 days. Bó a bá ṣe fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ó yá wa sí ipò yìí tí ó produce dáadáa, ó máa lo 3 days tí ó sì wà òkè dáadáa.
The clay pot usually has a tiny hole at the bottom, which allows water to drip through into the smaller pot below. The pot is also lined with leaves to prevent ash from passing through. In other places, cocoa pod ash or ashes gotten from burning the stem of a banana tree are used. But the soap ends up white and pale, so she prefers to use ashes gotten from burning wood to get a deeper brown color.
Tí wọ́n white ni ó jáde, ó máa funfun èyí tó wà lọ́jà yẹn títí wọn. Ewì títí wa igi gbogbo igi ni àwa ń sun ní iná. So a bá ti sun náà bó ṣe rí yẹn ni òun ṣe máa jáde dúdú lòun máa produce.
After the ash water mixture has been allowed to settle for several hours, clear caramel-colored water starts dripping through the hole. This is the filtered liquid that is then used to make the soap. This water is boiled for hours. Sometimes they can boil it for up to 3 whole days to sterilize the ash and turn it into a concentrated lye solution.
Ó lè jiná ní òòjọ́, ó lè jiná ní ọjọ́ kejì, ó lè jiná ní ọjọ́ kẹta. A máa ń sí òun lọ fáà lójoojúmọ́ ni ní títí ẹ̀.
This lye solution is everything. The ash water contains potassium hydroxide, which is necessary for the chemical reaction that turns oil and fat into soap. The longer the ash water is allowed to boil off, the greater the amount of this key ingredient that can be turned into soap.
Kíní omi aró yẹn gangan òun gangan ní ṣiṣẹ́ ọṣẹ yẹn tí ò bá sí ń bẹ̀ àdín yẹn gangan ò lè ṣiṣẹ́ fúnra rẹ̀ tá bá fi sí. So omi aró yẹn gangan omi eérú òun gangan ní produce ọṣẹ òun gangan lọ́ṣẹ.
The lye solution is ready when it thickens and turns into this dark liquid. The perfect recipe for black soap is in the tiny little things. It is the small details, like the type of oil used, or the exact ratio of lye to oil, that make all the difference in the final product. To make the soap, Alima mixes the lye water with palm kernel oil in a large pot over a wooden fire. This process is called cooking the soap. Compared to other oils, palm kernel oil is much more moisturizing. The oil provides hydration while the ash gently exfoliates. The cooking process is the most delicate part. Alima must constantly monitor the temperature to ensure the soap does not overcook or burn. This is where the real hard work begins. If the mixture is not stirred constantly, it can burn and ruin the soap. If the fire is too hot, the mixture can ignite.
tí iná bá tún wá pọ̀ ńbẹ̀ jù iná máa ń gbá mú tó yẹ pé bá a ṣe ń gbọ̀n yẹn yóò máa yẹ egungun ní lálálálálálá so tá a bá ti gbé kaná bá yóò kàn pín sí méjì àtúnṣe.
And if it's too cold, the soap won't set properly. But it's not just the temperature that can ruin the soap. Timing is also crucial. If Alima adds the lye solution too early, it can cause the oil to heat up rapidly and may even cause a chemical reaction called lye volcano, where the mixture bubbles up and overflows. If this eruption comes in contact with the skin or eyes, it can be very dangerous.
Àwọn wa mọ̀ fi sí díẹ̀díẹ̀ nítorí tá a bá fi sí púpọ̀ jù tó bá ti wù ó lè gbaná. Táwa fi sí díẹ̀díẹ̀ tá à ń yọ iná rẹ̀ kù.
This frothy chemical reaction is called saponification, which is simply just the oil transforming into soap through the addition of a strong alkaline solution. Alima stirs the mix thoroughly to ensure the lye reacts with all of the oil and not just a portion of it. The reaction between lye and oil generates so much heat, but stirring continuously prevents the mixture from becoming too hot, which could cause it to scorch or boil over. Crafting the perfect soap requires the skill of an experienced eye. To determine when the soap is ready, Alima looks at the color and texture.
Tó bá ti le, ó ti tó gún lọ́dọ̀ wa bá. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ti kó lé ó sùn papọ̀, ó ti tó gún bá, ó ti jẹná.
But even after hours of cooking and stirring, the black soap is still not ready. To achieve the desired texture and appearance, she transfers the mixture into a mortar for pounding. Using a pestle, she pounds it until it becomes smooth and pliable, with all of the ingredients fully incorporated into each other. This process is very labor-intensive, and it can take several hours, depending on the quantity of soap to be pounded. For Alima, the pounding process is often a communal activity, with members of the household taking turns to pound and share the workload. To smoothen the soap, she presses it against the sides of the mortar by turning the mortar around in a circular motion. She continues to turn the mortar around until it becomes a large, smooth ball of soap. To ensure that it can be easily removed from the pan later on, she coats the soap with a layer of ash on the outside. And now the soap goes back into the pan, where it slowly melts. Heating the soap again allows it to harden and take on a more distinct, deep, and rich color. But when the soap starts melting, it cannot be left in the pan for too long. As hot as it is right now, Alima still needs to scoop out the melted soap, else the soap becomes too hard and difficult to use.
Tí mi bá ti tún jiná jù, yóò tún le jù tí a ní rí yọ.
After scooping it into a pan and it cools, she carefully shapes and wraps each bar ready to sell to her customers. The process of making African black soap may be time-consuming, but the end result is worth the wait. The rich and creamy lather produced by the soap is one of its most appealing qualities, which leaves the skin feeling soft, smooth, and supple. Despite how back-breaking the work is, for Alima, the making of black soap is a labor of love. Each bar of soap she makes reflects her passion and carries on her ancestors' legacy.